Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Behind this door is a very happy person. His clubs have finally all turned up together. He's in there warming up, and I thought today we would do a little what's in the bag with Bernie with all his new kit. So let's go and open the door and let's see what he's up to. Well, very black looking bag.
It matches my heart, Dan.
You got black heart, have you, Bernie?
Stone and black.
Tell me then, what are they? What have you got in the golf bag, Bernie? Where do you want to start today?
Do you want to start with the make I'm using?
Let's start with the make you're using.
Yeah,
let's really kick it off with that. So tell us, obviously Sub 70 is your chosen brand for 2022.
Correct, yep.
Why? What sparked it? What's going on? How did it all come about? All of those.
Yeah, so I was looking for a new manufacturer or new set of clubs, equipment-wise, to use for the year. Been using older equipment that I purchased on eBay that I mess around with, I tinker with, I change the lofts, the lies, etc. So I was looking to put something newer in my bag, and ideally be fully kitted out, which you'll see that I am 13 clubs at the moment, all sub 70. Putter's not. So sub 70 is a family-run, family-orientated brand in the UK. We were given a set of the 699 Pros last year, which you and Lee took over to Saudi, and you hit and created some videos on the back of using those clubs. You left the clubs in the offices. I grabbed hold of what covered the clubs, had a little look at them, really liked the look of the 699s, although knowing it wasn't fully suited for me, and I hit them. And I was impressed. I was impressed by your response on the video. I was impressed with how I hit them in the studio here. There was an opportunity for me to put some clubs in the bag, so I did a little bit of research, liked the company. In the past, I have had offers. We've had offers. I'm willing to say that. Everything we ever do is clearly we do tell everybody, but the brands didn't really suit me, so it just all fitted in really well. I got a new set of clubs, they're helping me as well, and I went and got fitted in late January for a set of sub 70 clubs.
And yeah, if you haven't seen the fittings that we've done with Leicester, obviously we did the iron fitting, then we did the driver fitting as well. Just go and have a little look at those videos as well. That was sort of taking us up to Hereford, meeting the guys up there, Nick and Richard. Showcasing you what Leicester went through to get the clubs that we've got in the bag right now. So on that note then, where do you want to start? Should we start? Let's start with the irons, Bernie, because we've obviously done a video from that. So let's start out with the irons and maybe even that 2-iron.
No problem.
Start at the top end.
I would have cleaned them, but obviously you've sprung this video on me, and I've just played a tournament, so I do keep my clubs cleaner than this normally. So apologies to Richard and Nick, they're not normally looking like this. But if you want to start at the top end of my irons, I've got a little 2-iron here. So that's replaced my Ping Zing that I've had for best part of 20 years, which I purchased off your dad.
Yeah. Whether
I purchased it or not is probably debatable. Paul still thinks I owe him money for it.
Yeah.
But that's a 699 utility in the Pro, so it's the...
That's the same as what I tested. That's the same as what I took out to Saudi in here.
Yeah, so I've got that 17 degrees. It's got a graphite shaft in it. It's got the Project X60, which has got the sub 70 branding on as well, which was quite nice.
It's quite a nice touch, isn't it?
That's the one that they recommended for me. I thought possibly that I would need steel to match in with my irons, but this was the one I got the best numbers with, so I took Nick's fitting advice and stuck with a graphite shaft in it. And
are you happy with that?
Yeah,
because
really,
obviously, I mean, I've been using a 3-iron now that I'm not overly happy with. I've moved from a steel into a graphite, and I want to run back to a steel. You know, is that something that you felt, or are you quite comfortable with what you got?
No, I'm comfortable with it. I know, like Jordan Spieth is, not comparing myself to him, but he's got a graphite.
There's similarities.
He's got a graphite shafted long iron in his bag.
It's good enough for him. It's good enough for you.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives me a slightly higher launch with that shaft, and allows me to manipulate the ball a little bit better, I think. So I can hit a few different varieties of shots with it, and it goes further than my 2-iron, previous 2-iron, which is ideal.
Now, we will come on to it a little bit later on in the actual rest of the
Yeah.
products, but this ferrule, tell me about the ferrule. I mean, it's very snazzy, isn't it? That's not your standard issue job there, is it?
No, so sub 70 being the club's all manufactured and produced in the actual headquarters. So you get a choice of different coloured ferrules, different options, different...
Well, Nick, who fitted you, he put it all together.
Yeah, I mean, I just said to him, whatever you think, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't really that bothered about the ferrule. I was more interested in how the club performed.
Yeah. For me, a ferrule like that might put me off, but for you, it's not too much of a problem.
You just, once you've hit it...
I look at it and just think, oh, that's
No, I mean, I've been practicing quite a bit of it. I mean, it does stand out, don't get me wrong. When you look down at it, you can see it, but...
Yeah.
No, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I could put anything on there, it wouldn't bother
so
me.
that's your 2 iron.
That's my 2 iron, yeah, 17 degrees.
Yeah, so strong little duty. How far do you hit that?
That's going like 225 through the air, so my zing was like just over 200.
Oh, go on, give us a rip.
I've got to hit it 220 yards through the air now, no? No, it's not a good strike. 210.
Well, 210 yards through the range, not bad for someone who didn't get a good strike. So it's performing. That's the good thing about a club like that, isn't it? How much it performs when it's not quite in tune with a strike that you went straight down the middle, Bernie.
Yeah, but that's my 2 iron.
Yeah, that's
which
your 2
I
iron.
like.
Okay, and then the irons then, which are a very bladed-looking set of irons.
Yeah, so that's the TA3. So it was Tommy Armour the third. They did produce irons themselves in the sort of early 90s to mid 90s, which was quite a popular range at the time. I remember quite a lot of the juniors at Churston sort of playing the golf clubs. So I think Sub 70 have bought out Tommy Armour, and they've designed an iron which is called the Tommy Armour the third. It's a blade, but it's their bigger blade, so it's the more playable blade. They do a smaller headed version. I've got that 4 iron to pitching wedge.
Okay. And shaft? What
shaft wise, I've got KBS Tour, 120 grams in the stiff.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to be either stiff 120 or maybe X slightly lighter.
Yeah.
But that gave me the best sort of launch. I'm getting older now, I'm in my 40s, so I need a little bit of help at the shaft, and that sort of gave me a little bit more help than using an X. But yeah, it's a good shaft.
And what's interesting is when we went through the fitting, and you said to me on the day, you said, look, I'm going to go for whatever they tell me and that's it, blah, blah, blah. However, you did fall in love with them, didn't you? I mean, there was an instant match there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like when your old days on Tinder used to match up, and you just matched up with those, didn't you?
Retired from that, Dan.
Sorry, yeah. You did match up nicely.
I make no secret of the fact, if you've seen the video, I just love the look of it when I look down at it. The lines are very clean, there's minimal offset. It's just a beautiful looking looking golf club. But
having used them now,
but I would have used, if it have, when I hit the CBs, if it had said that's the club for you, and I hadn't got the same numbers or the performance levels had dropped, I would have used that. But I was producing numbers which were as good, if not better, than the more easier to hit clubs, so to say.
Yeah. However, you have taken them on the golf course, and has your heart ruled over your head and you're not hitting them that well, or do you feel that you've made the right choice?
Oh, I feel there's definitely an improvement, and people I played with have said, oh, you're hitting those clubs so much better than, the people do say that a lot, but the only issue I've got at the moment is my yardages, because I know they're slightly stronger lofts than my traditional lofts, only fractionally, but I am hitting them further. I'm hitting them at least a club further.
Yeah, so that 7 iron that you've probably got in your hand there, that is a 32-degree 7 iron.
Yeah, I mean, my 7 iron traditionally was 160 yard.
Yeah.
Carry, this one's like 172, 173.
Oh, wow,
so
big jump then.
So I've jumped like 12, 13 yards. So I do have to be a little bit careful.
What's that gone down to? A little bit of, what do you think it is? A bit of spin?
The spin levels are similar to what my Callaways were. I presume because I'm practicing a little bit more, I'm hitting the middle more often.
The Callaways were 34 degrees, so you got 2 degrees stronger then.
Yeah.
But that's still a big jump.
But the spin levels seem to be manageable. I'm hitting it in the areas I'd like to be.
Yeah, combination of shaft and loft and everything.
Correct, I mean, I used to spin my Callaways slightly higher than recommended, really, when we did the TrackMan numbers at sub 70 fitting.
So that runs from 4-iron right the way
wedge.
through
Yeah.
to pitching wedge, and
Yeah.
then you move into some well, little gems that have arrived, and this
Yes.
is why we're doing the review now, isn't it? Because obviously they've just arrived.
Yes, I mean I haven't gamed these yet, so they've literally
Okay.
gone in my bag. I've done a little bit of testing with them, so they matching quite nicely with the yardages with my irons being slightly stronger.
Yeah.
These do go slightly further than the Vokeys that I had before.
Yeah.
I quite like the finish, so it's a slightly darker finish than the actual. It's more of a shiny finish, which looks nice. I've got some stamping on there as well. So
Yeah, that's a nice new engraving machine they've got up at the HQ there, haven't they?
I've got the 50 with the West Ham logo on there.
Nice, love it.
I've got 54, which has got Mel. That's the current girlfriend.
Yeah.
That may have to be replaced at some stage, depending on how she gets on.
Yeah.
Not necessarily how the wedge gets on, but how she gets on.
Yeah.
And then I've got a 58, which I put my dad's name on it.
Nice
So
touch.
just a little bit of memory to him.
Yeah. And you haven't moved away from your numbers, have you? As in, you've kept 50, 54, 58. If I remember looking back, you've always been in those wedge lofts.
I've always felt I needed 3 wedges for the right gapping. Really,
And how is the gapping with your 50 to the pitching wedge?
Yeah,
is it all okay?
that's going. They're going like sort of 5 yards further carry than what I would hit the Vokeys at. So which is marrying in quite nicely, to be honest. I don't think I need much adjustment. I was thinking that possibly I might have to manipulate the loft slightly on them.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see when I game them whether that still fits in. But I have got I've got my machine over there, which
you can
loft and line machine, which I can. They are forward, so I can move them if required.
Move up to the head covers then. Okay. Let's have a little look at the Fairway. I was really impressed with this. When this one turned up, I looked down and thought, oh, that's pretty.
I would say that this is probably the best looking club in the bag.
Oh wow, that's a big statement.
I just love it. The freewood. I mean, it's a nice shape. It's not too small.
Okay.
I like this patterning on the top.
A little carbon-y look.
Like carbon. It's like a carbon
blend.
blend, but it's got like I guess it'd be like black and white finish on the top. I don't know if you can see that with the shining.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's silvery.
But yeah, it sits so well. You put it down, it just doesn't need any manipulation. It just sits absolutely plumb to the ground.
Yeah.
I've got it set on +1, so just give myself a little bit more loft.
It's like a little, like a 16-degree forward kind.
Yeah, so it just gives me that option of being able to hit it off the deck, a little bit more flight. And same as my driver, I've got a KBS tour-driven shaft, which has got the X in there, so it's the stiffest one that I could get in there.
Yeah.
I wanted something that I've always used a Tour AD in the black.
Yeah.
Which I've used for the last
years,
12, 13 years since it's come out, and they said this would very much match in with it. I didn't hit this in the studio because I didn't have any heads when I was up sub 70 fitting, but they said it would match in with my driver. They sent it me to try, to have a go of it, see how you get on, but I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's probably my favourite club, to be honest.
Let's have a look at the bottom of it. I just kind of like to look at there, see what's happening.
Got a couple of weight ports in there.
Yeah.
You've obviously got the adjustable adapter ferrule, which you can then move and change the loft, which is great.
And a snazzy head cover.
Head cover's nice, isn't it? Just nice black and white one with a 70 brand on it.
Driver then, Bernie.
Yeah. So I've got the 849 Pro that I had in the driver. That's at the moment, I think, if I'm right, it might have changed when this video comes up. That's the only driver head they do at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's got the 3 weight ports in the back, which are obviously adjustable, and also the adjustable adapter. 10.5 head set in standard loft. It's a 450cc head, so it's fractionally smaller than your traditional 460. It is noticeable because it's quite rounded at the back.
Yeah.
It's sits nicely, and when you address it, it's just a different shape to what I'm used to. I mean, I love my F8 Cobra, always have, but this early signs are, I feel like confident hitting this as I do the F8, and you know, there was a thought that I was going to hit this on vlogs and then go back to my F8 if I play tournaments, but I'm not. I've literally got rid of my F8, and this is definitely a favourite. It's got the same shaft as the freewood, so it all matches in. It's got the KBS tour driven X in the 50, so it's quite a lightweight shaft, but it's matched in nicely. Golf Pride Tour Velvet grips, which is my favourite grip.
First impressions you weren't in love with it initially, but as soon as you hit it, I think your mindset changed, didn't you?
Oh, 100%. I didn't.
It's always hard to make a change from a drive that you've loved so much and then move into something different.
It was always going to be the hardest thing to change, but I mean, like I said, early signs, my numbers and my distance, I definitely hit it further than the Cobra.
Yeah.
You know, and if I do hit it offline, it's me, isn't it? It's not the club. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
What about that putter then? What's under that Woburn head cover then?
I will get a sub 70 putter, but I haven't been fitted yet. They wanted to fit me properly.
Okay.
So what I've got at the moment is I've got an Odyssey 2 ball, white ice finish.
Yeah, nice.
It's reasonably new actually. It hasn't been, well, I say new, it hasn't been used much. The reason I changed from this, I made my own putter. So extended the shaft, stuck the Jumbo Max grip on it because I arm lock. This putter, because it was the mid-length one, is more upright. So it sits in a better position. The ping that I was using before
a bit flat.
was flat, but you can't bend it because it's not forged. Like with Jordan's putter, he's done the same. We bent it and made it more upright so it sat in a better position. But this one traditionally is more upright, so it just makes me slightly more over the ball, which I feel more confident with.
Okay.
But that will change this year at some stage, but I do like that at the moment.
Sorted out in the others.
Yeah.
Okay. And the actual bag itself, I mean, it doesn't get much snazzier than that, does it?
No, that's a lovely bit of black and white branding.
Little bit, look, got your name on there as well.
Just in case I forget.
Got the DHG logo on there, sub 70 as well, and a snazzy towel to go with it.
And matching scorecard holder down. Don't know where it is. It's in there somewhere.
You got that? It's
in there somewhere, isn't it?
They do love a good scorecard holder, don't they?
They do, yeah. No, I don't know what it is. Oh, it is that.
Oh, you've got it. Oh,
Ryder Cup for when I get my debut for them.
Yeah, when you make that. Just a couple of other things. What have you got on the golf bag then? You've got a rangefinder for this year.
Yeah, I've got my Shot Scope Pro L1 on there. That's gone in there this year.
That's got slope on it and everything,
slope system. It's got all the modern cons that you'd need on a Shot Scope and a rangefinder. I do prefer the laser. I do wear the watch as well, Shot Scope.
Yeah.
Sub 70
we're enjoying
towel.
using them, aren't we? And golf ball, what ball are you using?
Pro V1X at the moment.
Pro V1X?
Yeah, Titleist Pro V1X.
Well, I think that's a lovely little what's in the bag, Bernie.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
You know your stuff, don't you? Well, isn't he a very lucky boy? Obviously, a big thank you to Sub 70 Richard and his team up there at Hereford for looking after Leicester for this year. I know he's very excited for using these new clubs, but I'd like to hear what you think about that as a what's in the bag. Is Sub 70 a brand that you would be looking at yourselves? I'd like to hear down in the comments. Don't forget, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all again very soon.